Kubli pi barok ni priang sobai pi sekan ka khubon rasan dikasi. Matang kita ni buat Myntri Rangbah jong ke Jylla misalkan dot sangma. Kona welcome to our program and we are very pleased that you take your time to speak with us. So welcome to the first question. It's been almost 1 year that you are in the office. I still remember the first day you take oath, you said you are not even ready. You didn't bring out even your clothes because you didn't contest the election, but still the people choose you as the chief minister. How has been the journey? How has been the experience of the last 11 months?
Well, last 11 months have been a mixture of things, I should say. It's not really one particular thing I can say that it's been good or bad, difficult or pleasant. But I think we've got to really understand and learn a lot in the last 1 year. Always when you are coming into a system, I keep telling people, where you want to get to. You know your goals. You know where you want to take the state forward. But then it's very important to understand where we are right now. So only then can we draw the roadmap to where we want to go. Because without knowing where you are, it's difficult. So I think last 1 year, has been a lot of understanding of the current situation in the state, understanding the team that we're working with. It's always a team work. It's never an individual's work. So you have to really carry the team along. So I think it has been quite a kind of exciting 1 year. And at the same time, we have had different situations which were there in the state, which we had to handle. And so it's been up and down. But I think it's been exciting, and we're looking forward to the coming years to take the state forward.
Immediately after you take over the office, you have that difficult situation that sweepers colony think about with the agitation, curfew and all. How do you manage to handle that situation?
Well, I think, you're never prepared to actually handle these kind of situations. And in that particular case, it was really very, very sudden. And, though the tension and the situations have been there in the past, we all know about the kind of situation that is there in that area. But nobody expected that it would suddenly burst like that. So therefore, it was quite sudden. And, we were caught by surprise in one way. But I think the team worked very well. I must really appreciate the way the police, did their part. I must appreciate the way the Home Department they did their part. The way all the MLAs, NGOs, religious leaders who participated that time to, somehow, neutralize the situation at that point. So everybody really, played an important part. But more importantly for us, when that situation came in, I was very clear in my mind that no matter what happens, the lives of the people is most important to me, and the protection of our citizens is most important to me. So I was very clear in my mind that whatever we do, we must keep the security and the overall safety of our people as a topmost priority. And we also decided that we should reach out to everybody, and that's what we did. So just simple, basic things we followed, and we're thankful to everybody that we were somehow maybe able to neutralize the situation at that point.
Tell us a little bit about that high-level committee, because when you went there, when you go to that site, still we can see that security cover is still there, still preventing.
Yes. No, you see, one has to also realize that it is a very, very complicated situation which has been there for many, many years. And that is why, and when the situation suddenly came out, we as a government thought that we should not take it lightly even in the future. And that is the reason why we thought that at least the presence of some security, it's not for any kind of threat to anybody. It's just to make people feel comfortable that government and the police department is there to take care for both sides. Whatever situation comes up, at least there is a police presence out there to help in a situation like that. And I think the committee is really working hard. We've been, in fact, many meetings have taken place, and I think our Deputy Chief Minister is heading the committee. So we're hopeful that they'll be able to find a way forward in this case.
Now coming to this CB Censorship Amendment bill, are you under pressure when that situation came up, and then you have BJP as your partner, wanted to bend the bill, you have a partner in the state which they don't want. Were you under any pressure?
Well, definitely, you're under pressure, because it's not for the National People's Party. It is, of course, Meghalaya is we are in government, but one must also realize that we are in government with them in Manipur, where we have 4 ministers, and in Nagaland also, where 2 of our MLAs are there, and in Arunachal Pradesh, where 5 of MLAs are there. So definitely it is not an easy situation for any political party to take a decision in that line. But I think I'm very happy to tell you that in the first meeting I had with all my leaders from all the Northeast states, everybody was very firm, saying that there is no question of supporting this bill. And and even though I as an individual opposed it from day one, we passed it in the resolution 6-7 months back in the cabinet. Our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Preston Tinsong, was the first one, in fact, in the cabinet to directly oppose the bill. And that is why the entire cabinet then, took a unanimous decision to oppose it. So therefore, it was tough, but I think ultimately when we keep the interests of the people in mind and look at the ideology of our party, where we are here to protect the indigenous people, I think that prevailed. And that is why we decided that no matter what the situation might be and the risks might be, we need to keep that in the front and continue our work. So therefore, we decided that, as you all know, that if the government did pass this bill, then we would not be in any position to continue with them. So we were very clear about it, and we're clear about it even now. It's not that that stand has changed.
I want to come to some political question. There were allegations that your major partner, the United Democratic Party, tried to bury the government, that you want to, everything you want to decide by themselves, you want to get more shares. Tell us something about it. Is it true that the UDP tried to bury the government?
No, I think you see in coalition politics, especially when you have 6 parties in the coalition, there will always be, some statements, sometimes some, tension, you can say, and, conflict of interest will be there. I think it's natural. If I were to say that it doesn't happen, I would be lying to you. But I think what is important is how do we resolve it? And I think it's important that there must be understanding between the partners. And I think the leadership from all the political parties who we have right now in the coalition are taking a very active role in ensuring that any kind of situation that develops, any tension that is there, or any kind of conflict of interest that is there, is resolved at the earliest. So yes, sometimes we have to listen to our partners, sometimes we have to listen to the other partners, sometimes the partners have to listen to us. I think it's always a very healthy environment.
Sometimes you have to go for your party also.
Absolutely, I think there's no denying it. And I think all the coalition partners, all coalition partners understand that. And the normal, as I said, conflict of interest that is in any coalition is there in our coalition also. But I'm happy to tell you that because of the maturity of the different leaders who are there, because of the understanding that is there between the parties, because of the common interest we have, in order to take the state forward, whatever situation and tensions that come up, we resolve it. And I hope that in the future also, in a similar way, we will continue working. And if there are situations that come up, I'm sure we'll be able to find a way forward.
This border with Assam, I want to tell you very, very frank on this. How difficult it is to solve this border problem?
I think it has not been able to be resolved for a very long time. I mean, consecutive governments have come, and this has been an issue that has been a pain area for our people, and so also for the other state. So it is definitely a very complicated issue. There are claims and there are counter claims. There have been commissions that have been set up, reports have been put in, not accepted by some people, accepted by some people. So this has been an ongoing process. So therefore, having said that, is it impossible? Well, nothing is impossible, I mean, if we are to really work together and find a way forward, maybe we may be able to find a way forward. But I think what is most important is that while we work towards getting a solution to the border issue, the people of the border area should not suffer. And I think the people of the state should not suffer. And I think that is what is more kind of a priority in my mind. And every time there's an incident that takes place in the border area, it really bothers me. And really, something that I really, get concerned about. Because as I said that, yes, there are tensions, there are complications in this issue which are not easy to resolve because of the claims and counter-claims and documents being presented from both sides. So therefore, these challenges will be there. But as I said, in my heart, what is most important to me is that my people should not suffer in the process. And that is why every time something happens, immediately I call up my counterpart and inform him that, this kind of situation is happening. We try to neutralize it. And we have seen some incidents which is quite, sad to see these things happening. And we're trying our best to ensure that these kind of things don't happen in the future. We're trying to ensure that the development process continues, trying to ensure that the people in the border area don't suffer. And I think that is most important to us.
We have the budget session coming up next month. Will there be any new initiative, any new measures that come into effect?
Absolutely, there will be. There are, in fact, within this financial year itself, even though there were a lot of things which we did not mention in the budget because we came in just a few days before the budget was presented. So therefore, it is sometimes difficult to incorporate all the ideas because everything is already set. So this year, we were able to prioritize some of the areas which we felt are important. And sorry, I won't be able to share that with you right now because we are still working on and finalizing things. It's more or less ready, but we're still finalizing the last bits. And only on the budget presentation day we'll come to here. But I can tell you that yes, there are areas of focus which we're going to focus on, and and there are new initiatives that are going to be put in there, and we'll be sharing it on that day.
What about these financial difficulties which you mentioned at the start of the government? Is it resisting this?
No, it is because apart from a state that, of course, we compared to other smaller states. We do have some source of our own revenue, but still, keeping in mind the kind of financial requirements we have, it is not enough, definitely not enough. And also because of these last few years, the different, bans that have been put on coal mining and other environmental issues that have come up has also affected our revenue, generation. Not only that, in 2014 also, when the Finance Commission came in, they had calculated our share of, whatever in the Finance Commission's devolution and awards. They had awards of the Finance Commission, but decided on the basis of our own revenue also. But then those revenues stopped after the Finance Commission award was given. So those kind of challenges still affect us. We have the 5th Pay Commission that has come up that has also put in a lot of pressure on us. So therefore, the expenses have gone up and the revenue has not gone up to the level where we need to. So therefore, it is very important for us as a state also that we tighten up the revenue that is there right now, ensure that that we increase our revenue in the current sources that are there right now, and ensure that it goes up. And also search for new areas of revenue where we could generate, more revenue for the state. So both these things are being really looked into in detail. We have been working very hard for the past 6 months. We have in fact formed different committees and subcommittees headed by officials to look into this aspect. They have taken other experts on board to look into how the revenue generation could go up. So we have been doing this homework quite silently. We have not really made it a big thing because we thought that only when something concrete comes out, we will share it and we will start implementing it. So therefore, this homework is going on. Some of it has been implemented. Some will be implemented in this coming year. But I hope that in the coming years, we will see an increase in the revenue generation of the state.
Okay, sir. Last question will be political. What has been your relationship with BJP post-CAB? Post-CAB.
Well, we are still part of the NDA. I mean, there's no thing about it. And we are in part of the NIDA. But definitely this has created a lot of tension between everybody. And as a political party that is very much focused on the interests of the Northeast and the people, the indigenous people especially, we were not very happy when this bill was put in. And therefore, and I expressed my unhappiness at all levels in the government, in the allies, and among the BJP people also. And I'm happy that after we expressed our concerns and our unhappiness, as a joint group, of course, there were 11 parties together. We spoke to everybody. So I think ultimately they understood that the sentiments of the Northeast, we know the political reasons why they are doing it. They have their own, different reasons for doing it. But the effect that comes on us is something that I think they should also understand. So therefore, it has been tense, and it's something that as I said, we were not happy about. But then, as I said, when they took the sentiments of the Northeast in mind and did not go ahead with this bill in the Rajya Sabha, so therefore at least we were able to stop any kind of movement forward in that line. So now we will see how things go. It is not the same as it was before the things. There is a lot of tension in the northeast. A lot of people are not happy. You have seen that the UDP has pulled out of the NIDA. You have seen that even AGP is still out of the government. MNF and other parties also are not really openly talking about anything. So definitely there is something going on, but I think it will be not appropriate for me to talk about that right now. But I think it's not the writings on the wall that it's not the same as it was before, and things had really come up to a level where people were to some extent saying that yes, maybe BJP is doing something for the northeast and we are moving forward, and then suddenly this came up and it really affected the sentiments of the people, and obviously we all are affected by it.
This common candidate thing for Lok Sabha is still hanging balance, or
No, I can tell you that we are doing a lot of discussion on this issue. It is not easy, simply because though we are part of the coalition, we all have our own identities and we all have our own political party, and we will obviously at times and situations look at the interest of our own political party. There's nothing wrong in it, So UDP would like to strengthen UDP, PDF would like to strengthen PDF, HSPDP would like to strengthen HSPDP, and obviously when you have a Lok Sabha election, then you look at this as an opportunity to build up your organization and spread it throughout the region. But then, question comes in also about the coalition, about the interests, about different kind of conflict of interest. So many things come in. So the discussions are on. It's not that we've just left it on the burner and just on the side in the cold storage, but we are discussing it, and let us see. Let us hope that we'll be able to find a solution to this. But I think whether we are able to find a solution or not, more or less the partners have been very clear that it will not affect the coalition in the state. So I think that is very important, and I was very happy to hear when we were all discussing that, okay, fine, we would want this, we don't want this, you should do this, but the state government shouldn't be affected. Like you're seeing in district council election, we are fighting against each other in district council election.
Or even the by-election.
Yeah, by-election also, even in Silsila, UDP is putting up a candidate. So that's fine, and I think we've been very clear that should not affect the state government in the state. So I think that is a mindset that we're going with, and let us see how things go and try to find a way forward in that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.